You know, each month we have so much fun learning something new and unique with our friends from Hands-On Discovery Center. This morning, Krissy Worth and John Krekelberg are here to show us how they make their version of ice cream and some other explosive ideas that we'll talk about in just a few moments. But let's talk about the ice cream because I feel like it's fairly safe, Krissy.
It is. It's very safe and it's going to be very delicious.
Okay. How do we get started?
Okay. So we are going to change the state of matter a little bit from liquids into solids.
That's what we're talking about today, is changing the states of matter.
Yes. So,
all right.
First, we're going to start off with like 2 cups of ice in a bag.
Which is a solid.
Which is solid. And then you're going to add some salt, a half a cup of salt into that ice.
Okay.
So that ice will change its freezing point and get even colder for us.
Okay.
All right. So now we have some ingredients that we're going to use to make the ice cream that everyone should probably have in their house.
Okay.
So in this little bag right here, are you able to hold this bag for me?
Sure.
Thank you. It's always good to do it with a partner. So we have some half and half here.
There
we're going to do 1 cup of half and half. You can also do heavy cream, but half and half does make it a little fluffier.
Okay. A little creamier.
A little creamier. We're going to do a teaspoon of, teaspoon of vanilla.
I'm glad you put the cooler down there.
All right, and then this is something you don't have to do, but if you want to add some sugar, a tablespoon
there you go.
Sugar. All right, so now
helps the medicine go down too.
Absolutely. So now we are going to seal this bag up really well. So that's super important, is to make sure that these bags are sealed up
because
really
if it's
well.
not sealed up, what do you have?
It's going to be a big mess.
It will be a big mess.
It may be an explosion.
That's a scientific term too, a big mess.
Yeah, so then you're going to put this mixture into the gallon-sized bag.
All right.
With the ice, and now you're going to
get a little bit of that air out of there.
That's right, and you're going to seal the bag up really tightly. Now this is the part where it's good to have a partner.
Okay.
And maybe some gloves or a towel, because this gets really cold. So you have to shake this for a good 5 minutes. Shake, shake, shake.
So do you want to continue doing that while John and I are over here doing our thing? Or?
Well, because we have the magic of television.
Oh, that's why the cooler is here.
Yes,
not just to catch a mess, but to also have some ice cream pre-made. I love it.
So now we have changed all of this liquid here into...
In just 5 minutes.
In just 5 minutes.
Right.
You're going to have a solid ice cream, which is very delicious. So let me show you here.
Oh. Do I get to do quality control on this?
If you would like a taste, see that right there? It's ice cream. So yeah, so we did a phase change. We've changed the liquid into a solid, which means that we have frozen all of these liquid ingredients, so the particles have gotten slower moving inside, and they're all tight together to make a solid.
You know, I always, when I was a kid, and we had, you know, the old crank ice cream machines, and they put the ice and they dumped some rock salt in there with it. I always wondered when I was a kid what that was about until somebody explained it to me. But you got to make sure if you're using one of those to get the lid on very good, because the salt will leach into your ice cream, and that's not good.
No.
I love salty ice cream.
You were talking about making tomato ice cream just a moment ago.
Try new things, right?
I don't know about, we have strawberries and peaches over there with Stanley's Produce. We could throw those in there, but I don't know about the tomatoes. Although their tomatoes are very nice.
I'll stick with vanilla ice cream.
Vanilla, okay. That way you can put a little chocolate on there or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
All right, now, I'm a little scared.
Don't be scared.
You said this is controlled chaos.
It's controlled chaos, exactly right. So as we saw earlier, Krissy was able to change the state of matter by altering the temperature. We're going to do a little phase shift of matter using chemistry. And we're all familiar with the famous baking soda vinegar chemical reaction. It's an acid-base reaction. We're going to vary it slightly, keeping the baking soda as one of our key ingredients. The second one is going to be citric acid in powder form. And this, of course, comes from citric fruits. Gives it that bitter, bitter, bitter taste. So here I have a sample. If you want to grab the citric acid, we're going to add it
I'm going to lay my papers down
here. Yeah, I'm putting you to work again.
Right in here,
on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ha!
Well, that was not very exciting.
What's happening? Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, well, so these two are in powdered form. They're not going to react together. And, of course, because they're in a powdered form, they are in a solid form.
I want to get my scripts up here. So
yeah, it might get a little messy here. We are going to add a liquid, my favorite chemical, dihydrogen monoxide.
Okay.
It is dangerous to inhale. because it is water. You don't want to breathe it in. But it is in a liquid form. If we add water to our citric acid and baking soda, watch what happens when these two dry chemicals are mixed in solution. In 5, 4, 3, 2, fun.
Up.
Whoa! We get foam. Oh my goodness! There we have our controlled chaos. We have a little splash tray here to catch all the mess. But this is our.
What school did you take that tray from? Come on now.
I don't want to spill tell all my secrets. But this same chemical reaction happens in another probably chemical that you have at home. These plop, plop, fizz, fizz, effervescent tablets.
Cold tablets, yeah.
If you look in the ingredients, not in the active ingredients, but in the inactive ingredients, it has citric acid and baking soda in powdered form that when you add plop, plop into water, it will fizz, fizz.
Fizz, fizz.
It is creating that gas, carbon dioxide bubbles that make it, you know, a little bit easier on your tummy, kind of help the belly ache go away a little more quickly. But the cool thing about gases is they are very dispersed. They take up a much greater volume than the little teeny tablet that started out with. We can put that to good work using one of these things I was asking earlier. Do you recognize these?
I really don't, but where'd they come from?
In an era before iPhones.
Film.
Yes.
Yeah, they're film canisters.
Before iPhones, before digital cameras.
I saw the lids and then I put 2 and 2 together.
You had to buy film to add to your cameras, and they came in these handy dandy pop tab little canisters.
Which are handy for a lot of things.
They are. They really, really are. You can keep all kinds of fun little trinkets in here. But the cool thing about this is the lid pops right off. So when the pressure gets too great, the lid is just going to pop right off.
Okay.
So we are going to take a little bit of my favorite chemical, dihydrogen monoxide, pour it into our film canister, about that much.
All right.
And I'm going to add my effervescent tablet, and it's going to start fizzing. Crack into this tablet here.
It is childproof.
It is childproof. It's also John-proof, apparently. I'm going to take my tablet, plop, plop, fizz, fizz, and throw the lid on. And let's watch what happens.
I'm going to step over here.
As the pressure is building.
Oh, it's building.
Building.
It's
and
building. It's building.
Now, it's not going very fast, is it? Because one way that we can speed this up is using hot water. Opa!
Hello!
I think that's still in the rafters.
Oh my goodness!
Now, if we wanted to go faster, I'm going to use hot water. Hot water actually makes chemical reactions go even faster. Everybody's huddling over there. Same ingredients, but just a little bit of added energy in the form of heat. Plop the lid on, step back, count down 75, 74, 73. 72.
I'm trying to protect you, Chris.
Now this, if you try this at home, you definitely need adult supervision.
Absolutely need adult
and make sure that these things are not pointed at people or cameras or anything breakable.
Oh my goodness.
Good job.
Starting Tuesday morning off with a bang with our friends from Hands-On Discovery Center. They got a very special event coming up. We want to share that with you right now. It's coming up on Tuesday. I'm sorry. It is coming up. It is a big Bourbon Bones and Big Bang Party event that they're hosting. It's coming up on June the 20th from 6:30 to 10 p.m. If you want to find out more, go to that website right there or scan with your smartphone right there. Hey, coming up in just a few moments.